Good morning. Uh, we're on day 9, working our way through the prayer. Help us to see people the way God sees them, and for our heart to break for the things that break God's heart. I was thinking this morning, and I shared this past weekend in the services, about the young lady that came up to me at a gas station and was trying to sell different things to help pay for her education, and how a transformation began to happen in my life. I noticed that not only was I generous with her, and I'm a fairly generous person normally, and so I probably would have helped her before, but I recognized that God was allowing me to begin to see her the way that He sees her, to empathize with her position, to admire her courage, to be really motivated by how much she cares about some of the things that she cared about, and just the whole process. It was not just a matter of buying a product from her that she was selling to try to help her get through school. It was now a connection at some of the deepest levels that I'm so glad that God is beginning to do. And I hope that right about now, after you've been working our way through this time, that maybe that same thing's is beginning to happen in your life as well. And I know it is, because many of you have been sharing stories. Those who are suffering, God can identify with in such deep and real ways. Think of this in Isaiah 53, when the prophet is talking about the way that Christ will live. He says, He grew up before Him like a tender shoot, like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to Him, nothing in His appearance that we should desire Him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering. Like one from whom men hide their faces, He was despised, and we esteemed Him not. Surely He took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows, yet we considered Him stricken by God, smitten by Him and afflicted. But He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon Him, and by His wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way, and the Lord has laid on Him the iniquity of us all. This morning, I'm challenged by the fact that no matter how much I can empathize or identify with some of the people that I see in bad ways, Christ was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief, and He did that so He could identify with us. We have a partner in this process. We have a partner in this journey, and it is Jesus Christ. And so this day, if you are blessed and you are looking for those who are suffering to identify with and to see them as God sees them, may God give you eyes to see and a heart that breaks. But if you're suffering, may you know that God's heart breaks for you, and He loves you dearly.